Hello again. I did a video recently talking about just the way guitars are built and the sort of thing that you want to look for if you're going out and buying your first electric guitar. And on that video I talked briefly about pickups. That's quite a big subject, so I thought what I'd do is come back and talk about pickups again in a little bit more detail, the different types of pickup you could come across, the way that they're made and the way that they give you the sound. If you didn't know, these are the pickups. Basically what you've got in here are some magnets, and wrapped around the magnets hundreds, thousands of times, very fine wire wrapped around the magnet. And what happens is when the steel string moves through the magnetic field, it induces current in the wire, and then that's converted through the various bits and bobs on the guitar and the amplifier into the sound that you hear. So quite basic physics, but there's all sorts of things that the manufacturers of the pickups can do to affect the way that the sound, you know, the types of magnet that they use, the type of wire, how many times the wire is wrapped around the magnet, all sorts of things. Fundamentally, there's two different types of pickup you'll come across on an electric guitar. Single coil pickups, like these, got two single coil pickups on the guitar here, or what's called a humbucking pickup, which is actually just two single coils side by side. The important thing about a humbucker is the way that one of the coils is made. It's actually out of phase. Don't worry too much about that in terms of, you know, the electronics, but what it means is when you hear a single coil pickup on its own, it's got a really nice bright sound, but they are quite prone to hum and a little bit of electrical noise. What somebody discovered years ago was if you got two single coil pickups, well, one of them was out of phase, you put them together, you got a pickup that it cancelled the hum, hence the name humbucker. But it's got a different sound, it's got a slightly fuller sound, it's not as bright as a single coil. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly play you an example of a humbucking pickup and a single coil pickup. I don't really trust the microphone on the camera to do a good job, so what I'm going to do is plug in to directly into the audio in on the PC so you can hear better quality sound. Okay, so there you should have been able to hear the difference in sound between the humbucker and the single coil. Yeah, the humbucker's got a slightly fuller sound, not as bright as the single coil. And if we'd been listening to that with the amp cranked right up, you probably would have been able to hear a little bit of hum, a little bit of buzz off the single coil pickups. Another thing that affects the way the pickups sound is just where they are. Now if you think about the way the string moves, it's between two fixed points, one here at the bridge and another fixed point here at the end of the neck, and the string vibrates. Now there's going to be more movement on the string near the middle and less towards the end, and that affects the way the pickups pick up the sound. Pickup nearer the bridge will tend to be a brighter sound than a pickup nearer the neck. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over to Les Paul. So we've got two identical pickups and let you hear the way that they sound in the bridge position, the neck position, and just for the hell of it, we'll try the two of them together. Okay, so there you should have been able to hear the difference in sound between the bridge pickup and the neck pickup. As I said, these are identical pickups, but you could hear, because of where they are on the body of the guitar, they've got a different sound. So there's two factors that affect the way pickup sounds with a single coil or humbucker and where it is on the guitar body. There's a little bit more that the manufacturers can do to give you some flexibility in the way that the guitar sounds. What I'm going to do now is do another guitar change onto my Thompson that I've got down there, which has got some interesting pickup switching combinations, which I'll talk to you about. Yeah, so this is my custom built Thompson guitar, and when I specified this to Richie Thompson, I included a few interesting little switching combinations for the pickups, just to give them the most flexibility in terms of sound. As you can see, this has got two humbucking pickups, different types. They were the type of pickup that I found worked best in each position. So I've got tone zone at the bridge and a PAF at the neck, both Demosio pickups. But what we did when we designed the guitar was we included a thing called coil tapping. And what coil tapping allows you to do is I've got a little switch here, one for each pickup, that allows me to take one of those coils out. So I can be playing it as a humbucker, flick the switch and it goes down to single coil. A tapped humbucker doesn't really sound quite the same as a single coil, but it's a close enough approximation. And if you have, you need to make the decision: do you want a humbucker or do you want a single coil? If you decide, well, if I want the best of both worlds, really go for a humbucker and something where you can coil tap it to get that single coil-ish sort of sound. So I'll give you a quick demo now. What the bridge humbucker is a humbucker and then tap to a single coil, and then the neck humbucker, and again tap it down to single coil, so you can hear how the sounds compare. Okay, one other little electronic trick in the wiring on this guitar is a phase reversal switch. What that allows me to do is the bridge pickup, if I flick the switch here, it reverses the phase of pickup. Now on its own that makes no difference to the sound. Where phase reversal comes into its own is where you've got two pickups together. Two pickups in phase compared to two pickups out of phase sounds different. So what I'll do is I'll play now with two pickups together in phase, then I'll flick the phase reversal switch and you can hear the effect that it has on the sound. It makes it maybe a little more nasal in character, maybe slightly smoky, some people describe it as. So here's how it sounds. as a quick guided tour of the different sort of sounds that are available from different types of pickups. Really that's just a starting point, because with an electric guitar you're going to plug it into an amp. Chances are you're going to be adding some sort of effects along the way, and they all influence the sound. What you're working with though is a fundamental sound that comes from the wood in the guitar body and the pickups that are picking up the sound from the strings. Certain pickups will influence the sound of the amp or the sound of the effect in different ways. You know, if you have a very, very high output pickup, it's going to start overdriving an amp a lot quicker than if you had a medium or a low output pickup, which might be more suited to a clean tone. You know, certain tones, certain harmonics that the pickups pick up will sound different through different types of effects units. So it's about the whole chain, but thinking about your starting point, how does the pickup sound? You know, that's where you're coming from. Okay, so hopefully you found that useful and have a better understanding of the way pickups work and how you get different sounds out of them. Okay, and hopefully I'll catch up with you in another video sometime soon. Bye for now.